You want to know why I think Jesus didn't like gossip? If you read Luke 12:2, says there, and I think that Jesus was an exemplary example, it says, what you have said in the darkness will be known in the light. You know, and then it talks about screaming it from the housetops in Matthew. You know, like, the thing is those people using gossip to destroy other people. I'd say my mother is one, and my two exes are others. But this is a very common trait, and I've known this ever since I was little. I saw this in the Mormon community. Everybody's keeping up appearances, keeping up with the Joneses, putting on their fake faces, their fake smiles, and then presenting themselves in a way that isn't resembling what's inside of them. Like, they are a clone of everybody else around them. But when it comes to, like, saying their, peace of mind, what's truly on their heart of hearts, they'll only say that in private. And I see, when it comes to ostracization or retaliation, a lot of people aren't, stoic enough or in their own enough to be able to say it publicly or to say it, in the light. They have to say it in the darkness. And so I have a group. I had a group. I guess it just got destroyed on Facebook. But I had a group for the town I visited in Ireland, where the mother of my baby lives. And without using her name or any identifying information, I said that my ex has alienated me from my daughter for 6 months. And she had done this before I ever met her. She had alienated me, and she'd been really quite, systematically marginalizing me, just like she did to her previous baby daddy with 4 kids. She's done that to him off and on for every kid until the point of which I met her. And just before I met her, she had went to the Garda, the police in Ireland, and told them he was a pedophile. And then she would later remove that complaint, and then she would reassert it, try to charge him again and all this, and then she's dropped the charges again. But so when I was just there recently, she called the cops on him, saying that he was harassing her, right, when I was there, and he was harassing me. And the guard was like, you've dropped all these charges, back off, like, quit harassing this guy. So then we had a little tiff because I recorded that with the police, and, she'd been telling everybody this guy still had pending pedophile charges. So I recorded my conversation with the police, noting that she had dropped the charges, there's nothing pending, there's nothing for them to investigate, and that, she's on her own. And I recorded that, and I brought that back to her, and I played it for her, and she got furious. I didn't record her at that point. I recorded only the Garda, but she got furious about it, that I recorded that, and that she doesn't want anybody to know she's dropped the charges on this guy, who she's claimed for years is a pedophile. Well, then I leave because we have a big spat about me recording it, and the fact that, she keeps blowing up at me and doing all this crazy shit, and I would record that to play back for her so that she just could see herself, in the moment, so she could recognize what's going on. Like, she has these weird reactions. And so anyway, I get back, and I'm trying to talk with my daughter, and she's trying to alienate me from my daughter. And through 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by. So I make a little group about parental alienation to accompany my page about parental alienation that I've had since 2015. And then she starts letting me see my daughter, but she starts giving me all these idle threats. And don't talk about anything, don't tell anybody anything. I'm like, yeah, but while I was there, our mutual friend Jack told me that you were telling everybody that I got you pregnant on purpose for the reasons of having a visa. And that's not true. And I showed him, I showed other people, the back and forth between her and I, where she asked me for the baby. Before I ever came out to Ireland to, marry her, she asked me for a baby. Then when I get out there, I ask her to get on birth control. I ask her and I ask her and ask her. She denies getting it, won't get it. 4 months go by, so I schedule an appointment for a vasectomy with Dr. John McCormick in Dublin. And then I tell her, and she's like, no, I will marry you, cancel the vasectomy, I still want a baby with you, blah, blah, blah. So I wrote John McCormick, still got it in my email, anybody can look at it, it's not forged, it's not manipulated. And it was way before we had any problems that I wrote this guy. And I said, my fiance wants to marry me. I'm canceling the vasectomy because she still wants a baby. I'll let you know if anything changes. So I show everybody that, and then when I get home, she's threatening me, don't say anything about anything, blah, 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 don't tell anybody anything. If you still want to have your daughter in your life, don't tell anybody. So the point is that she forced this baby. She wanted this baby, and then she forced it to happen. And then she denied all the birth control, and she, talked me into not getting a vasectomy. And then the baby comes, and I'm out of the picture, and I'm like, well, are you going to have an abortion? Or are you going to, what are you going to do here? Like, I'm not in the picture. Are you going to actually have the baby? No, my mom wants me to have an abortion. I'm going to have an abortion. Okay, well, that's what she's saying. She's been saying that for a long time, that, if we get pregnant, I'll have an abortion. Like, she's back and forth on the whole thing. So then she agrees to the abortion thing, or she's going to do the abortion. Well, she doesn't do it. And then the baby comes, and then she's using the baby as a weapon against me. Give me this, or do this, or don't do that, or whatever, or else you can't see your baby. Blah, blah, blah. And then in 2023, she challenges me. She's like, any good father is going to fight to see his baby, to be a part of her life. So then I go out there, because she says she's going to marry me. I go out there, and that's on and off and on and off, this marriage thing. And so I get on the baby's birth certificate, and then I'm out, like as soon as that happens. And, it was about the time that I went and talked to the Garda to find out she had been harassing this guy with all these fake charges that has 4 babies with her, right? And then she gets upset that I recorded that or whatever. And then, so now I've been out of the baby's life since April. It's now October 2024. I stopped sending maintenance as soon as she stopped letting me talk to the baby. In fact, I sent maintenance in April, and I didn't get to talk to the baby all April. And then she was calling the police on me here, just like she was the other guy in Ireland, saying that, oh, he's harassing me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to see my baby. We had an agreement to meet every night at 6, and that was an agreement we both agreed to. And then she stopped letting me talk to the baby, and then she started calling the police on me. So after April, I stopped sending maintenance. So I haven't sent maintenance in 6 months, but I haven't also talked to my baby in 6 months. So if she wants to allow me to talk to my baby, then I'll start sending maintenance. But I'm not going to give her money to isolate me from my baby, to alienate me. There's no way. Like, I'm not going to reward that behavior. That's sick. So anyway, I posted about this, not naming any names, just giving my side of the story, because she went around and gossiped about me. She won't say it to my face. She never told anybody that I know, or anybody told me for 2 years that she was saying that I got her pregnant on purpose for a visa. No, I did not. I was going to marry her. She agreed to marry me. I didn't need a birth certificate for a visa because she had agreed to marry me. So anyway, she's telling all these people this, and I finally find out my friend Jack, who's a mutual friend, he's known her since she was 15, and now she's, 34, so he's known her for like 20 years. He's known me for 7 years. Anyway, he sits me down, and he's like, man, you're in trouble for getting her pregnant. I was like, why would I be in trouble? She wanted that baby. No, she said that you got her pregnant on purpose so you could move to Ireland. I said, what? The marriage was going to get me moved to Ireland. She agreed to marry me, and she asked me for a baby, and I agreed to give her a baby because she was going to help me out and marry me and, get me moved over to Ireland. And we have already had chemistry. We already had a romantic moment or two. Like I already love this woman, so sure, okay, I'll give her a baby after the marriage. I wasn't going to have a baby out of wedlock. I was going to give her a baby after marriage. Had nothing to do with getting a visa. Had to do with giving her a promise, in exchange for the marriage, I was going to give her a baby. Now, she wants everybody to think she was never going to marry me. And then I went over there and I tricked her into having a baby. And it was all for the purposes of getting a visa. Look, I don't even need the baby. I don't need her marriage. I don't need any of it. I'm retired. I can get a stamp 0 in Ireland. But me and her had something. Me and her had a thing. And so that's why we were going to get married. It didn't have a lot to do with the visa. It had a little bit to do with the visa at first, but years ago I learned I can immigrate to Ireland on a stamp 0 simply because I get a retirement check. So long ago I learned this, so me coming back over there in 2023 and 2024 had nothing to do with me marrying her for a visa or having a baby for a visa, because I could have immigrated with my retirement on a stamp 0. So I just want to clear the air. I never gave anybody any names. I didn't defame anybody. But I just wanted to set the record straight because gossip needs some light shined on it. And I actually released a song called Emerald Sun, Sanitize This Place. sun is the best sanitizer, exposure, letting it out, letting it see the light, like it says in Luke 12:2, or in Matthew about whatever said in the darkness will be exposed in the light. And I think that's a good thing. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to do any more videos for this channel, but I am, because this new event came up. I've had my Dublin group canceled. It had 6,000 members. I had my Ireland group canceled. It had 4,500 members. So that's 10,500 members I've lost because I mentioned this issue and nobody's name, but they say I defamed her. I did not defame her. She defames me in the darkness, going from ear to ear behind my back and telling people shit that isn't true. If you want proof that she asked me for the baby in 2019, and if you want proof she asked me to not get a vasectomy in 2021, and if you want proof that I asked her over 20 times on Messenger to get an appointment for birth control while I was there before this baby was born, I'll show you that proof. That's not a problem for me. I can show you a lot more than that too. Anyway, check me out at disruptarian.com. I'm out.